This school district broke the law, and we're just trying to get some answers about that.
Our Call 6 investigators uncovered school districts breaking the law but not suffering the consequences. And as you can see, some school leaders hurried away from our questions. Some taxpayers say they've had the same problem in their search for answers. Call 6 investigator Kara Kenny has been digging into this issue and joins us now with results of her investigation. Kara?
Well, Drew, the open door law is designed to keep public meetings public, but our 3-month investigation found holes in that open door law. In fact, Hoosiers have no guaranteed right to speak at almost any public meeting.
Before this board starts to care.
School board meetings.
My children are losing the things that would help them.
Where the people you elect make decisions.
As a parent was informed.
At stake, your child's future and how your tax dollars are spent.
Again, to earn credit in colleges.
Leslie Hansen and Mike Berglund are concerned taxpayers who fought the system and won. Leslie in Greencastle, Mike in Noblesville. They both filed complaints with the state against their local school boards for violations of the open door law.
It was a last resort, frankly.
Mike claims Noblesville failed to provide the required 48 hours notice for a meeting.
As a taxpayer, you want to know whether or not your money's being spent effectively and efficiently.
Leslie requested 5 months worth of the school board's executive session minutes.
They weren't keeping minutes or formal minutes of their meetings.
Indiana Public Access Counselor Joe Hogue found both school districts did in fact break the open door law, a law he says is crucial for shining a light on what your school leaders are up to.
It's where your tax money is going. I mean, you're a citizen. You know, the government should be open to the public.
The Greencastle School District has the most recent violation, but declined an on-camera interview, so he showed up to a public board meeting. Can we steal you for a few minutes?
I'm really in a hurry.
Well, we've been here for almost three hours. You won't talk to us? We wanted to talk to you about the violation of the open door law. What is your response as board president? We're doing a story about transparency in government, and you're not going to talk to us? Other school board members and the superintendent also refused to answer questions about the violation. Why won't anyone talk to us? When there is a violation, the state's public access counselor can only issue advisory opinions and has no power to penalize school districts.
I mean, any agency can ignore any opinion that we issue.
Hogue's office has handled 94 open door law complaints since July 2010, 21% against school boards. The most common accusation, failure to provide notice for public meetings and executive sessions.
But you will see the same formal complaints being filed over and over again.
A new law does give judges more teeth against open door law complaints. The courts can issue a fine. But here's the fine print. The burden is on the taxpayer to go after that civil penalty. The public access counselor must already have an opinion in place against the agency, and the taxpayer has to prove the public official intentionally violated the law.
Extremely difficult.
I think it's hard to know people's intent.
Do you feel like there's enough teeth in the law?
No, I don't. That the Indiana open door law needs to be more specific.
Taxpayers say Indiana law falls short in other ways, too. For example, you can observe and record a public meeting, but the law doesn't guarantee your right to speak at most public meetings.
If you were to go to the Indiana Department of Education website...
The Call 6 investigators found at least 15 states that do give citizens the right to speak at most public meetings. Also, we surveyed 24 central Indiana school districts and found all allow some public comment, but almost all limit when and how long people can speak, usually 2 or 3 minutes.
If you let them speak in the beginning, they're kind of speaking blindly, and they don't know really, unless they know for sure what is going to be discussed.
We took our findings to State Representative Robert Baining, chair of the Education Committee.
It's kind of like you're just letting me say and ignoring me, and I can see frustrations with that.
Baining says lawmakers shouldn't micromanage school boards, but says there should be some consistency with how school boards conduct their meetings.
Should be consistent across the state, not have one school community decide to do it this way, another one do it that way, and have such such diversity that nobody knows what to expect.
Berglund and Hansen both plan to show up to future board meetings and push their school leaders to be more open.
We have to know what's happening at the meetings. We have to know why decisions are being made and what decisions are being made. I think that's really important.
In response to Hansen, the board said it would consider posting more records online. But when it came to answering questions about the open door law, that door shut in our face. The Greencastle superintendent told the public access counselor the district is making improvements, including keeping minutes for their meetings. As for the Noblesville School District, they say they have corrected the format of their meeting notices, and we should also point out that neither of those school districts are facing any penalties.
It's really interesting stuff that this could go on as long as it does, and compared to what these other states are doing as well. I wonder if anything is going to happen out of this investigation.
Well, we certainly hope so.
Absolutely.
But in the meantime, before anything happens, there are things that you can do as a taxpayer. You can hold your school board accountable. If you don't feel like they're being responsive to you, don't vote for them. And if you want to check out our website, theindychannel.com, you can also find out if your school board violated the open door law. We have that under the Call 6 Investigators section. All right, Kara. Well, this is some great information. Thank you so much for sharing that with us tonight. We appreciate that report.